Hello, thank you for tuning in. My name is Larry Duncan Allen. This is No More Water. Fire next time. We got a controversial subject here tonight, but it's only controversial for women, black women. If you really want to look at it, look, I'll tell you why. People like Gabrielle Union, they well, I'm not going to say that. But look, she's going around saying black men didn't vote for Kamala because of issues he had with strong black women in his past. So they didn't vote for Kamala Harris. And that's a lie. You wanna know why? When you look at the stats, black men vote for female candidates and female issues at a higher rate than any other men in the world. Don't believe me? Check the stats yourself. Other men do not vote for female candidates. When listen to many black, she's not the only black woman I heard say it. Listen to many black women, you would know it. What do you want? What are we supposed to do? Vote 100%? You don't do it. We got to be perfect, or we wasn't right, or we didn't do the right thing, and we're not perfect. That's the way white supremacists look at black people. Anti-black racists look at black people like that. We got to be perfect, or we're nothing. And that's the way black women are looking at us. And you may say, "Oh, they're not all black women," but when you talk about black men, you don't say some, not all. You just say black men. So if it's not you, if it don't, it's not I. Let it fly. But look, white men voted for Hillary Clinton. Now, let's go back to William. Let's go back here first. Black women voted for Kamala. 9 out of 10. Every black woman voted for Kamala. 8 out of 10 black men voted for Kamala Harris. 3 out of every 10 white men voted for Hillary. That's pitiful. But did you hear white women turn down white men for that? Only black women do that to black men. Black women didn't say nothing about white men when they voted on 3% for a woman because black women never speak. Tell the truth now. Look on social media. How often do you see black women speaking against white men as a whole like you do black men? You never do. And if someone put up something negative about him on social media, you speak up for him, and then you turn around about how cute and fine he is and you get a crush on him. They put up a AI picture of a black man in a dress. So we're tired of this foolishness. Black men have always backed black women, but you haven't always backed us because you tried to go get some rights without us. Now, where have black men really tried to get some rights without you? Everything we do as a people, you do it as women. You're more for women's rights than black rights. You went with white women and tried to get the right to vote before, instead of doing it with black men. They got the right and then threw you under the bus. White women have never been your ally. Jasmine Crockett found that out in Texas. Talking about how white women failed her. They always have. They don't like you no more than the white man do. Our fight is not against them, but just white men, white women, to white people. They hate us. And it seems like black women hate black men. Just look at the stuff you post all day long about. Then let a black man say something negative about you, oh, you go crazy. Like you never said nothing. Okay, let's go back to Kamala. Black women voted 9 out of every 10 black women. Okay, 8 out of every 10 black men. But you know when the campaign was going on, I used to hear more black women saying they were going to vote for Trump than black men. And I was wondering why. But I realized what happened. There are many more black female voters than men because there are more women than men. Okay, so numeral wise, black women, more black women voted for Trump than men. Numeral wise. So it sort of evens itself out. And in the Democratic Party, Kamala wasn't the problem, it's the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party has become full of feminists. Like all that matters is women. Because if they had knew better, they would have known. Not any time in the near future is a woman going to be president of the United States because white people are not going to vote for her. White women are not going to vote in numbers for her. They only voted like 60% for Hillary. White women are going to go with their men no matter what he does. And he's not going to do the right thing. Black men can do the right thing. And you still won't go with us. These old birds, these old bras like uh-uh. Gabrielle Union, Vivica Fox, who done elf their life up. Now they want to spread this toxic stuff to these young women. Look on social media at all that stuff you hear about black men. Those are not young women posting that stuff. They may repost it after some old broad and put it up. You know, she was throughout this relationship, she was never wrong. It was always him. And I talk to anyone. If I talk to a man or anyone, they always tell me what somebody else did, all the problems in their life. But it was never them. It's always somebody else. I wouldn't believe them. So why would you believe a woman who was never wrong? She was always right. So, so no matter what black men do, we don't have black women respect. We can now Pookie and Ray Ray got it, but Paul and Raymond don't. You remember Kevin Samuels when he was, the biggest um, argument he had with women? He was talking about Paul and Raymond, but the women thinking Pookie and Ray Ray. They didn't apply to what he was talking about. Because when you see Paul and Raymond, if he's a businessman, he's polished, he's articulate, and you think he's a homosexual. When you walk around, I saw a man today, and this was low down dirty shame. Black man. I was in the store. He's standing there, you know how the pants down below they button, the drawers showing. Head full of gray hair. Old man. Standing up with some mess like that. I just had to say that part. I know that. But man, I'm just to show you how a lot of times these younger people can't get their thinking together because look who's raising them. And these bitter old women, they raised some daughters. And they're thinking like that. Yeah, they talking about black men the cause that she lost when they voted 8 out of 10 for her. When no other man in the world has done that for a woman. You know what women of other race say about black men. You know what they like black men. They say black men are more for women issues. They go along with women issues because most of them was raised by a woman. Black men don't pay their white men don't pay their mother no attention. They talk about their dad. My dad. They borrow you a black man to by his mother. Most of the time, she turned him against his daddy. But look, and they say in black men are more attentive to women issues. Even the white people stats say the black men make the best fathers. But you never know they listening to black women. Most of the negative stereotypes about black men that put out there in the last 50 years wasn't put out there by white people. It was put out there by black women. What stereotype have black men put out there about you? None. You joined that feminist movement when you had no reason to. Black men wasn't giving you less money for the same pay. When you work for a black man, you got the same money that a man got. Black men wasn't stopping you talking about the white right to work deal. Black men wasn't stopping you from working. It was white men. Because you know why? You had to work. You know why? Until 1964, we was under Jim Crow. We were still under semi-slavery. A lot of people didn't realize that. We were still semi-slaves in 19 up until the Civil Rights Bill. That's why when white folks unalive black people, they didn't really have to pay for it because under Jim Crow, the black man didn't have any rights that they needed to respect. But look, they up in the 1964, black women had to work because they had what they call the suffrage law. If a black person didn't work, they could be arrested. They didn't always implement it. You had that law. So black women always worked. Black men didn't stop you from working. Matter of fact, he was glad you did. So why did black women even join the feminist movement? Black men wouldn't stop taking no rights from you. But the reason I say, if you was doing against the white man, but here what happened. You get all that feminine stuff in your mind, go to them rallies and all that. You know what that white woman did? When she left that rally, she went home and she was a mother to her children and a wife to her husband. Black women went home arguing with the black man about something he didn't have nothing to do with. You said we've always had the black men back. Tell me when. I like to know when. You've had white women back. When they overturned Roe versus Wade, you already saw it with black women on social media talking about black men. Black men wasn't against abortion, not in any numbers. You go by the consensus of the majority. There's always going to be some people think a different way. Everybody not going to think the same. The majority of black men was not against abortion and still not. And I wish they started back compared to that mess they got now. These women almost got to carry dead fetuses in them. But you know what? In 2001, I was at a meeting. Everybody got angry with me, even the men. Because I told black women, you all going to ruin abortion. You're using it for birth control, and that's not what it was meant for. And even if you are using it for that, don't let them know it. You go right in there and tell them, I don't want the baby. I know they were saying black women was having late term, or they just didn't want Pookie's baby and all of that. That may have been some. It's always, everybody not going to do the right thing. But black women found out they were, because of the disparage in health care, black women found out they were pregnant later than white women or other women did. And many times they had, because of disparaging the health care, they may have had more troubled pregnancies than those women. So that's why many black women was having more late term abortions. We talked up for you on that. Them people speak against you, we talk up for you. When I talked to white people, even when I had an Asian girlfriend, she couldn't say nothing bad about black women. I wouldn't allow her to. And most black men do that. When you see a black man with a white woman, she actually be more pro-black than white. She takes on his way of thinking. I see a black man with a white man, black woman with a white man, a lot of times she get with a white supremacist. And he don't change. Look at Serena Williams who made those statements about black people, and he was already married to her. Now you think a black man wife could say that and get away with it? It was one black guy wife had said some stuff. There was some of what she said, but she wasn't married to him then. People can't change. There's a lot of white people who tell you they used to be against how the racist they were. But come on, getting back to my subject, now you're gonna have to come on with us or leave us alone. We can't keep having Vivica Fox when you say black people, you're not talking about black women. What you think black women are people or something? Today, it's almost like black men and black women, two different entities. And so I know black women sitting there mad, trying to think of stuff, a good comeback and all that. That's the problem. Anytime somebody criticizes, oh, he just hates black women. Oh, your mama black. Who hurt you? All that old kind of foolishness. I don't want to hear that BS. You got to listen sometimes. You're not above criticism and you're not above doing wrong. You criticize black men all day long. As soon as you get criticized, you cry like a baby. Grow up. Learn how to take some criticism. Because I'm getting tired of this. Everywhere you look on social media, black men, women trashing black men and praising white men. No matter what he does, he has to do something to you personally. And you'll talk about that man. Not all white men. one black man does something to you, and you say black men, it's always plural, never single. And we're not gonna keep taking it. You some simps will. Then you wonder why when a black man start getting ahead, he get with a woman of another race. I can tell you why. I told the other night where this woman said when she's in the room and black men there, uh, they they go to the other women instead of the black women. Excuse me. I told her I can understand why. When you see black women, when a black man come around, when he come in the room, did you look at the room and see the reaction of the black man and the other women? I guarantee you what the black women did. Jerk their head away, look down at their frown all up. And the black woman smile. If he came in and say, hello everybody, how everybody doing? I guarantee you most, if not all, the black women didn't say a word to him. And the other women smiled and spoke to him. 30%, they said, this was back a few years, it's been 2020, and maybe even worse now, said 30% of the black guys going to college say he never dated a black girl. And they ask him, say, but why? Don't you like them? He say, yeah, we like them. Don't you think they're pretty? Oh, yeah, we think they're pretty. So why come you don't date them? You know what they said? They're mean. And you are. Black men and black women walk down the street past you just like you don't exist. And the reason the men do it is because he's so used to you doing it to him. Until you want him for something, then when something happens to you, oh, we're not protected. Who gonna protect somebody who treat them like they don't exist? He gonna put his life and health on the line for you. Then the next time he see you, you gonna walk by him like you don't know him. I wouldn't. Then y'all getting out that boxing, y'all. That's mutual combat. And I'm not. I walk right by it. Why come the men didn't break it up? Why come the women started that? You ever bother to ask that? Why are those women doing that? The men should have done something. You shouldn't. You shouldn't have been out there boxing. Act like ladies and quit acting like gorillas. Well, why come they want the other women? The other women are feminine. Face it. Black women have gotten masculine and became a part. It's become a part of your personality. You walk like a man. You talk like a man. You're bigger than most men. You weigh more than most men. And men are getting tired of that. Well, do you remember a comedian? They talk about, and a lot of people talk about when a white man. I'm sure you heard about judge the black man, let the woman off the hook. When a white man get a black woman, oh, he get the finest sister he can find. Black man, he get a white woman, he get the fat, ugly black woman, white woman. You know that's a lie. Black men get white women of all sizes just like he do black women. You see black men with fat white women. You see black men with pretty sexy white women. But when you hate a people, you go to the worst and forget the best. And that's what they're doing with black men. I tell you why. So what if a black man with a fat white woman? It's probably what he used to. Come on, like it, all he had was fat black women because most of you fat. Oh, don't look at me like that. You know you're not just fat, but obese. Go to any store. When I go to a store, there says 10 black women in there. It's quite common for all of them not to be fat, but all 10 may be obese. Severely fat. I mean wobbly wobbly. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. Ain't no need to get mad. It's the truth and you know it. And men who are accomplished are not gonna get with no fat women. You don't see men who are accomplished with fat women. I remember years ago when Leon Spinks, when he won the championship, and I remember he was getting ready to fight Muhammad Ali. And I heard my uncle say, they showed his wife with big old woman, big old hips sticking out. I heard my uncle say, you're not gonna be with her long. I said, Uncle, why you say that? He said, you're not old enough. You'll find out one day. What he meant was, when that man start making that big money, he gonna get rid of that big woman. The larger the wallet, the smaller the woman. Okay, let's go back to biblical to what's that, Gabriel Union. She said black men didn't want to support a strong black woman, didn't want to support Kamala because of beef they got with the strong black women. They got a grudge against. What's a strong woman? I always ask women that, and they can never give me a good answer. Well, she's independent. She pay her own bills and she pay her own rent, buy her own car. If she's single, that's what she's supposed to do. She's just being an adult, doing what she's supposed to do. That's why it's called her bills, her rent, not his, hers. So if you saying you're weak, you wanna know why? If you gotta blow yourself up as strong and so much better by doing normal things. If normal makes you strong, then you're not very strong. It's no, I mean, how is Kamala strong? She's just a woman running for president. Just like any other people do. Men run for president, that make him strong. Was Obama strong because he ran for president? Or he was just a man running for president? She was just a woman running for president. I voted for her. She run again, I vote for her. And most black men would. But because he's not 100%, he didn't want her to win. He said, well, my black man intimidated by a strong woman. What strong woman? No, you know what it is? You come to him with all that masculine energy. Masculine men are attracted to feminine women. Beta men, them soft men y'all raising, they attracted to masculine women. Pook and Ray Ray. You know, so you see a man talking to those women, they's talking to him any kind of way. You still won't leave alone. You know why they take all that off of them? They used to it. Their mother talked to them like that, any kind of way. They used to females talking to them any kind of way. And he'll smile and take them like it's nothing. You see, a man like me, I was raised with my mother and father. I wasn't raised to take that stuff. I didn't get whoopings. My mother encouraged me out just to get me to do simple things. None of us, it was 7 of us, none of us got whippings. And none of us been to jail. We're all productive members of society. But the average black person says you don't whoop them, then you're not going to be any good. That's what's making them no good. All them beating you, women giving them, most of you women on it. You raising 80% of them. And that number also, you know how the numbers match up? Women raising 80% of children and 80% of the men in jail was raised by a single parent. 80% of men in prison. So, see, if you raise him, you beating him all the time. But when these kids grow up, when people do stuff they don't like, they feel like they have to physically punish them. That's why we have all these fighting over things. People just get angry, want to fight over anything. You can't have a couple words with each other without it escalating. It won't let it go. Just keep it going and keep it going. And then when you start fighting the people, you have them down helpless and still stumping them and beating them. Fighting out of emotion. And see, you say you want the man to get in touch with his emotion. That's the most thing you want. It's not meant for men to be emotional. You see how they're emotional now? And how they're fighting just like the women? You used to get the man down, still beating them, stumping them. People just be unconscious. They still beating them. When I was coming up, you got in a fight, men didn't try to kick each other in the nuts and all this stuff. That was unheard of. They boxed. They wrestled. And who hit the ground first lost. When somebody hit the ground, fight over. Nowadays, when they hit the ground, it's just starting because you're going to keep beating on them. Then when you fight like we did, you be at school in the cafeteria, sitting there. When you hit the knockdown, drag out, it don't make no difference who won or lost. You look at each other, stare at each other for a minute, then one go. Then the other one go. That means it's over. But nowadays, it's never over till somebody get hurt or unalive. Then you may see them in the hallway, walk by each other, maybe for a little while. The next thing you know, you start speaking to each other, even start shaking hands. A lot of times, you and that person became best friends. A lot of people used to meet their friends in a fight. But you can't do that now because one of you gonna be in jail or the other not with us no more. Or you beat each other so bad that it's just unforgiving. Like I said, when we fought, you hit the ground, you lost. Fight over. But see, it's awful strange. Since then, most of the males was raised by women. They got that female emotion in them. I told you about that policeman in Brooklyn who was knocking those women out. I think they're gonna jump up in that man's face and call him all kind of names. He had a female partner. She pushing him back, so she should have hit her too, because she should have been helping him. But then the women put up comments to my he acting feminine. So when a man not taking no crap and knocking out is masculine. See what it is? When a woman comes to a man with masculine energy, she's strong. But when a man has masculine energy, who's supposed to have it, he's feminine. See how backwards that is? They want to make black male masculinity feminine and black female masculinity with strong like it's supposed to be. Y'all delusional. And people don't have time for delusional women. You walk like me, you talk like me, you act like you're loud and obnoxious. You say he afraid of a strong woman. You know what those supposedly strong women do? They come at him all masculine, thinking they dookie don't stink. They got their little degree and all. He's afraid. No, he's not afraid or intimidated. He's disgusted because you're disgusting. You come to him when he making the money, everything cool. Ain't nothing everything not all about money. Time you start making money, all you talk about, want to talk about money all the time. And those women supposed to be there. When the women, I'm just letting you know, we're tired of this mess. The women, they make more money than men. No, you don't. Even with all your degrees, you don't. No women in the world out earn the men. See, a black man could go get a job out of high school, working at a factory, warehouse, construction, and get a good salary. The jobs women got didn't pay a lot. So you have to get a degree to make pretty good money. And still don't make as money as all the degrees you get. Black women still don't earn black men. Don't let them fool you. Check the stats yourself. You got a lot of black men out here who don't even work on the project but still make more money than you. And it's not all illegal either. Because when you've been held back, you find ways. You're not just going to let yourself be homeless. You find ways to work and make money. And a lot of those men, you say, oh, he ain't but a little hustle. You make your 6 figures and he do too. Probably more than yours. And he's not doing anything illegal. Probably just not paying taxes. That's maybe the only illegal part. That's why you say, why she put up with that old man not working? She know why. Make more money than she is. I've seen they say about the man, oh, like he's nothing. They break up, the man leave, and the house fall apart. But look, I know y'all mad, you women. Some of you men might be mad because a lot of y'all like to simp with these women. But the thing is, what I'm saying is true, and I can back it up with facts. I don't say nothing that I can't back up. It's a lot of theories I have sometimes, but I don't say it on here if I don't have the facts to back. Once I get the facts, I'll say it. I'm talking about facts that could be shown, not some facts I invented. Because I can have some professional facts and all that, but I don't go by that. I go by facts that you can read and see for yourself. You're gonna trust that white man's facts. But look, if you gotta be strong, be strong. Well, what y'all call strong is really not strength. Because the stuff you say make you strong is just everyday normal stuff that other people do all the time. It wasn't meant for you to be strong. If that's what you want to be, go ahead and be that. But don't expect a man to be traditional with you. You don't want to be traditional, but you want him to be traditional. You want him to be the breadwinner, bring all his money home. Well, you making money and want to hold on to your money. See, women used to do that a long time ago. They wasn't making a lot of money. The men was making the bulk of the money. So the money she made, he just let her keep it, go and buy stuff for the house, put it up, saving. They have her. That's how a lot of times they build a good savings with her little money. But now, if he's making 60,000 and you making 50,000, what makes you think you gonna hold on to that 50,000 and don't help in that house? He the man, but you the woman. Look, you want the man to stick to the old ways, but you want to have the new ways. You're no longer the traditional woman, but you want him to remain a traditional man, which will put him at a disadvantage. Grow up. Start thinking and stop getting angry and emotional every time somebody says something. Or he just don't like black women. Well, do you all like black men? I hear you on social media tomorrow. We don't want y'all anyway. But why come you get angry when you go get somebody else? I did one the other day about the passport bros, which is not that many of them. All the women, I always had so much to say against that. If you don't want them, why are you worried about it? Them go get whoever you want. Go get all the white men you want because you black women and white men got about the same nature. That same diabolical nature. Now you might belong together. Can I tell you why? A woman will get with a man, even marry him, and I already got an exit strategy. I'm gonna wait till he get the mortgage paid, have 2 or 3 kids, but I'm gonna wait till he get the mortgage paid, then I'm gonna divorce him. You know, a lot of women have admitted that they thought like that. A lot of them, they laughs about it. That's some diabolical BS that a white person would do. So I wish more of you black women would get with white men. You're gonna be diabolical like just like him. When have you known a black man just plotted against you like that? Do something against you in a systematic way. You may have some individuals did something to you, but black men as a whole don't plot against you. And you all know I'm telling the truth. See, one thing about it, I know a lot of people get angry. See, it's two people. Now, I won't say two, but there's this unwritten rule that black women can't be criticized in their minds. If you criticize a black woman, oh, you hate your people, who hurt you, all that. Oh, you know the same old stuff from the playbook they got. People, a lot of black men get tired. Now them little pookies and Ray Rays y'all see down the street out in the stores. I'm not talking about them. They'll put up with your BS forever. I'm talking about well-minded, well-off black men who doing good for themselves with a good head on his shoulders. He don't have time for that mess no more. I'm talking about, oh, you an old man, you this and that. But what they got to do with your situation? That's who needs to be telling you. But see, because the old women not gonna tell you right. They the one putting all this mess in you. Vivica Fox ain't no old woman. That woman about in her 60s. They don't know how many facelifts. Just making her look like an alien. Gabrielle Union ain't no spring chicken either. They put all this mess in these young women's heads. And they're the ones raising them. You see little grade school girls talking all crazy to the little boys. Just like the women do the men. They already put it in them. Acting masculine. Masculine men do not want, are not attracted to masculine women. Why should he be? Even the women, black women making six figures can't get a decent man because the decent men don't want them. They still masculine. And with some money to go with it too, I don't care who don't like it. You gotta listen because things are not getting better, it's getting worse. See, the white people found one thing to separate the black community, and that was feminism. When they got black women into that in the 70s, it just about ruined black people. Black men and black women used to be married at a higher rate than white people. Now you can barely find black people to get married. I used to do wedding videos back about 20 years ago. It started getting less and less and less because people stopped getting married. But you know what? I used to do so many wedding videos, I didn't hardly have time for anything else. I was going from one wedding to the other. I had to hire other people to do something. But you know what? Out of all those weddings I did maybe 5 young people getting married. Why do people have to wait till they get old and mess it, have a few babies, mess their lives up, then want to get married? Because men with any sense not going for it. They're telling these young women, go on, live your life first, you know. But they're not telling them, don't we'll have a bunch of babies because, you know, you're not going to be able to get the best men. Ain't no good men out there. Why are you having so many babies if there's no good men out there? You can't find no good men, but you can find some good penis, I guess. I mean, don't mess your lives up. Then you can get the best. You choose the worst and think you can settle for the best. See how backwards that is? How you gonna settle for something better than what you had? Well, I got this old Ford here, but I think I'm gonna settle for this new Mercedes. See how crazy that sounds. But this thing she did, that was just to spark some trouble, keep some beef going. I don't know why black people like to keep beef going with each other. All the black celebrities beefing with each other. That old stupid Umar Johnson, that's all he do is beef with people. Talk about other black people. He say he love black folks, but he praise white people and talk against black people. What has he accomplished? You have to look at a person's accomplishments. He got a new video talking about he believed Jesse Jackson unalive had a Martin Luther King unalive. He think if you don't know, don't say that. See, some people thrive on conspiracy. I always got a new conspiracy. Jesse Jackson family need to sue him for defamation of his character. We're beefing all over the place. Now I got a beef tonight. I'm tired of this message. No matter what we do, we get no respect. We vote 8 out of 10 for a woman, which no other man in the world has ever done. And we still can't get no respect. Still can't get no respect. Expect that we gotta be 100%. You weren't 100%. And Joe Biden turned a lot of black men off. Black men voted even more for Biden than they did for Harris. You know what? They voted very high for Joe Biden. You know what he got up and said in during his inauguration? Excuse me. I want to thank black women. Said nothing about black men. Why come he just couldn't say black people? That's a word you don't hear no more, black people. black women and black men. You want to go by yourself, go home, because we're tired of this foolishness. We're the 92%, and we'll go on with your 92%. Leave us alone. If you ain't going to do right by black men, just leave us alone. Oh, I forgot. See, we can go get other women. Y'all can't get other men who seriously want you. Because you know what? If white men liked y'all like that, a black man wouldn't be able to get one of you. They just don't like y'all. These other men don't like y'all like that. Because if y'all did, you'll be over there with them. They really can't stand y'all. No, don't think they want you because they take you to the motel. No, they man have sex with women, just like because he have sex with you don't mean he like you. I told you once about a friend of mine. She was going with this Arab, and he would pick her up. Say, y'all going out? Yeah, we going to get something. We gonna get some drinks to go to the motel. Now I see her again. They getting drinks going to the motel. I said, that's all he take you to is the motel? She got mad. That ain't none of your business. I said, well, you want to keep bringing it to me? I don't care. And when I didn't see for about 3 weeks, he wasn't coming there picking her up. Cause she was right there, but I might see when she leave, cause we should talk sometime. And then when she told me one day, oh, you just jealous cause I got him. She tried to throw it at me and I didn't get it. So why would I be jealous? I have certain women I deal with. I don't deal with just no any woman. Plus, I consider her a friend. And she finally saw her. She said, you was right. I said, what you talking about? Saying we was leaving the motel one night and I told him that I love him and he put me out the car. That my love ain't got nothing to do with this. See? See, when I said it, I was jealous. I know what's going on. These white men, they try to talk to I had come to me. You know what I had them come to me and say before when they see black women the way the black women be behaving, say, how do y'all put up with it? I just looked at him, I didn't say nothing because it had the end right there. Because he said more, it was gonna be a problem. Because all in all, I still do not let white men or white women talk against black women. That's for us to do. I mean, it should be the same way with black women. That's for the like. One thing I will say, Moore Johnson said that I like. That's for the family. That's not for anybody else to do. Yeah, that's for the family. That's not for. But see, you all let white men and all these other men talk against us. You don't care. And a lot of black men better just wash their hands. We can't do nothing to please you. If you know why, you think like black, you think like white races when it comes to black men. You hate us so that when anybody mention black men, you think about the worst. You think about your baby dad. But that's what you want because see, people won't make what they want easy and what they don't want hard. And when it comes to Paul and Raymond, decent, upstanding black men who you want after you got 2 or 3 babies and put on maybe 80 extra pounds, he got to be 6 feet, make 6 figures, more than 6 inches. But your little pookie dad, Ray Ray daddy, he's 5'6", broke, with 3 inches. You made it easy for him. When it comes to decent man, you want to make it hard. People make it easy for what they want and hard for what they don't want because they don't really want it. They know it's what they should have, but they don't really want it. They only act like they want it because they know it's what they should have. People getting tired of the foolishness. Getting tired. Black men getting tired of that. Then you know none of them little guys y'all move put them out in the street. They're not tired of it. I'm not talking about them. They don't matter to me. They may matter to you. They don't matter to me. No one's talking about them. I'm talking about the decent, upstanding black men. They're tired of your foolishness. They vote 8 out of 10 for a black woman. And vote more for black women, more for women, even in Georgia. They voted in a high percentage for Stacey Abrams. Every time a black woman runs, black men, of all men, he voted the highest. He made his vote on maybe only second to the black women. That's because there's more black women. But the thing is, he still get no respect for that. Still talking about he didn't vote for her. He didn't vote for her. Now he didn't vote for Kamala, and he voted 8 out of 10 voted for her. And no other man in the world has ever voted for a woman in that high percentage. But yet the white men voted 3 out of 10 for Hillary. And the white women had nothing bad to say about him because they don't hate their men. They don't hate their men like you do. I know you may be individually saying, I don't hate black men, but you're an individual. I'm talking about as a whole. The majority do. You show it every day. Black women got this thing, they walk like a black man don't even exist. I'm gonna tell you, this happened quite a few times. You could be walking out of a door. You're already halfway out the door, and she walks up, just walks straight into you, like you're not even there, on purpose. You say something, oh, you bumped into me. I said, what was I doing, walking sideways or something? And I leave it at that because I know a black woman not gonna leave. She gonna start fussing and cussing. She gonna get her teeth knocked out. Because I've done it before and I'll do it again. You don't call me names. You don't cuss me out. You don't have to hit me. Too much hostility. I'm not gonna wait for somebody to hit me, male or female. I'm not gonna do it. And you brothers stand there and let these women just slap and hit on you. That's your problem. And nobody gonna slap and hit on me if I can help it. If I can't help it, that's a different story. But if I can help it, you're gonna get dealt with. One way or another. And you men, you little simps. I told you about that. I saw this video. There was this man, this woman going in his phone. This was no AI, like most of it is. She going in his pocket, trying to go in his pocket, hitting him, trying to go in his pockets. And he kept telling her to stop trying to push her off. These men recording, standing there just laughing. She's trying to go in his pocket, get his man. He finally got tired, hit her and knocked her down. You know those men went over there and jumped on that man. He should have had something for them. I don't see why no one's walking around here without their CCW in this time and age. I don't see why. I'm talking about male and female. Because these women, you may have some of these guys, they getting bold, might want to try to pull you up in one of them vans, unmarked vans. You they had something for it. And if some man try to assault you, you the mace or whatever you have to do. Me, I'm not gonna assault a woman. I'm gonna defend myself. That's not assault. I'm one of the calmest. I live a good, quiet, peaceful life. You know why? Because I don't fool chaotic people. That's why I say, even when I don't even have much to say. There's a lot of stuff I let go by. Because I know if I say something, it's going to turn into a big thing and it's not going to end well for them. So that's why a lot I just leave alone. Sometimes they say, I have women say some little smart stuff to me. I just let it go and just mind my own business. That's why I stopped. Sometimes I would like to take public transportation sometimes just to see things and people. I had to cut that out. Just drive everywhere I go. Cause there was this I remember one time this black woman on the bus, she was with some other people. They standing over me talking, I felt a dribble on me. So I moved to the other seat by the window. You know what she said? Don't you move out. I don't want to sit by you. I didn't say nothing. This ugly crackhead looking woman thought she wanted to sit by me. If she had, I would have got up and moved somewhere else. You know, she said that about 20 times trying to get a response out of me. Just standing there staring at me. Why do y'all love to argue with a man? 'Cause you ain't gonna argue with me too long. 'Cause it's not gonna end well. Male or female, you ain't gonna argue with me too long. So when you start coming in a hostile way, I'm like the United States. I repel all threats, foreign and domestic. I'm not gonna wait for somebody to hit me. That's why I say you all come with all that masculine energy. Then you talk about, oh, these men, they abusive and you know what they call abuse? They lost the fight they started. Most black men don't hit women unless they hit him first or came at him with some hostilities. Then when she gets served up, he's abusive. Yeah, I mean, it's just such a big mess. I don't see any hope for black men and black women. I really don't. I see no hope. And brothers, if you got to move on, move on. If you women want to move on, but you can't. They don't want y'all like that. Not like the way you want them to want you. Because you got your life to live. You can't worry about what no perceptions and all that stuff. Uh, what people gonna think and all that. You got your life to live. And if these women want to be against us like that, let them be against us by themselves. And I'm sick of it. And most brothers I talk to are sick of it because the brothers I know not know Pookies and Ray Rays. They're businessmen. Men got stuff going for themselves. Them the kind of people I deal with. Have you noticed the women who's supposed to be so accomplished, they got Pookies and Ray Rays too. Because they come with all that masculine energy. And men who got some going for themselves, they don't go for that kind of woman. They like feminine women, fit women. But you know what they were saying that black women are the most educated. No, you're not. Education is K through 12, which most people does. College is training. It's just a 4-year trade school where you take 2 years, your first 2 years, learning a lot of BS that you're not going to use anyway. You come out better going to a community college and save yourself 2 years. Look, the I think them run 4 years too. You can get 2 years of college in high school if you apply to that program, that accelerated program. But look, but they got your head filled up like that, and most of you are not going to get the kind of degrees that would really get you through. Humanities, social degrees, you don't make no money in that kind of stuff. Communications. You know what? And do you know what happens? You know, with all that high student debt that you can't even pay off. Now you want a husband or some man so he can help you pay that off. And you want them just for financial reasons, which is usually the case, which is okay, but treat the man right. Because people get angry with me because I say, I don't see what love and marriage got to do with each other. People used to always get married, arranged marriage, and people used to put ads in the paper for a wife or for a husband. They stayed together all their lives. Now, people can't even stay together all the 5 years. See, black women, their limit on a relationship is like 5 years. After that, they're really bored with it. They say, I want somebody to make me happy. Ain't no man here for your happiness. What are you supposed to do? Amuse you or something? That's fairy tale type of thinking. What you want is a long romance. That's what you think a marriage is. A long romance. When that feeling's gone, that means the marriage over. That's childish thinking. People got married to build a life together, but to have a life together. Somebody could be with night. It ain't have nothing to do with no love and all that. Because what have love been getting you? The average black marriage don't last for 5 years. And it's usually 90% of the time it's a woman filing for divorce. And it don't be for no abusiveness and all that stuff. Be irreconcilable differences, which mean a no fault divorce, you just ain't got bored. Or you done found somebody new who makes you tingle like he used to make you tingle. But having life is not about tingling. More serious than that. That's why I tell women talking about, but y'all you saw all those ads on in the media about um generic Viagra and all that. Woman would tell me, I said, look, I'm not putting all that. If it stop working, it just stop working. I'll find some other stuff to do. Go on vacation, take trips, find some other stuff to do. I'm not putting all that poison in my body. Please no woman, and she ain't gonna do it for me. I'm gonna tell you quick, I ain't doing nothing for no man. I do it to please myself. If he has good, take the birth control. I ain't taking no birth control for no man. But you gonna put that poison in your body for her? You said, well, she may go get it from somebody else. I said, hell, more than likely she doing that already. Don't worry about no mess like that. Just don't let me catch you. Other than that, I ain't even looking to try to catch you. If I catch you, go on about your business. But I'm not even looking to catch you. I got other stuff to do. I'm worried about some foolishness like that. Who messing around? She's not my wife. So technically, she's not mine. But look, I'll get back. I know I said some stuff. Man, I know it's a lot of folks. I sound crazy and all that. Well, you can think me crazy if you want to, but it's factual. There's too many problems going on out here. And like the black man can't get no respect. If he can do something that's better than any other man in the world. And black women still criticizing him for it. These other men don't vote for women. They'll tell you quick they don't. I worked on jobs where women worked there. Did you know those white men was mad because the women worked there and the black man was glad? Not because he wanted to talk to them and all that. They was glad some women was on the job. White men talking about if they were, and these be white women they're talking about. If they were real women, they wouldn't be on a man's job. Some say it's any job, about a job, who can do it? If they can do the job, it's a person's job. So that's that white man way of thinking. They see women as something that's less than them. Black men are the only men who treat women on an equal level. And you all know that. But you're not going to admit it. Because you hate to admit anything good about black men. And white women and all of them will tell you that black men do that. But let the black woman tell the black man is the most repressive, the most abusive. When you know that's not true. So what you call abuse is you lost the fight you started. When if you call that's abusive, then I've done some abusing. Then that's what you call abusive. Now, if you hit me, you gonna get hit. I didn't come up in a house where I got beat and hit. I'm not used to people hitting on me. I'm gonna stop it if I can help it. If I can't help it, that's a different story. But anybody I can stop from harming me, they gonna get stopped one way or the other, male or female. You men stand there and let these women beat on you. That's on you. If a woman hit you in the eye, it's gonna turn black too. Then when she hit you and you don't do nothing, oh, she beat his so and so, knowing he wasn't fighting her. Anytime somebody's swinging on you, you just being defensive and you don't swing back. Sooner or later, they gonna get one in. Sooner or later, you got to go on the offense to repel them. I'm not restraining nobody. I'm gonna knock you out. That's just the way I am. You say, well, oh, he ain't no real man. Well, if that's what you call not a real man, then I'm not. I'd rather not be a real man and be healthy than be a real man that you beat all on me and hit me all in the eye, all that. That what it takes to be a real man, and I'm not one. But look, I said that because I've been seeing a lot of this stuff on social media about black men vote like they're against strong black women. Well, I ain't see no strong black woman yet. I see some women out here trying to act like a man, doing normal stuff that everybody does, and say they strong for doing it. Well, I'm not gonna hold you long tonight. I had a little different subject here tonight, so now I hope y'all don't get mad. I'm not trying to make anyone angry. I'm not. If you get that way, that's on you. Black women have to get used to being criticized. You take criticism as an attack. Everybody not gonna sit up here and call you queens and all this stuff. I don't know why people get that mess from. And a lot of people call me king. I'm not no king. I'm a man. I don't need grandiose titles to feel good about myself. I'm the king of what? King of these glasses? King of this watch? A king got subjects. Where's my subjects? I don't have any. So, we need to be realistic. In that case, men and women, we need to be realistic. Do things in a realistic way. Because all this old fake stuff, it's not going to get us nowhere. It's not going to get us nowhere at all. And so I want to thank you all for tuning in. And like I said, if you're angry, you're just angry. Because you all don't tune in on the post where I speak positive of black women. When it's time to speak positive of you, I do. In this case, I just didn't have nothing positive to say about things I've been seeing. And if it's time, but the thing about it, I don't never see you all speaking positive of black men. But you do for white men. Remember that picture of Serena Williams? I'm gonna say this before I go. That picture of Serena Williams' husband, and she in her bathing suit, he's sitting there in his bathing suit. He built like a little teddy bear that was out there. Every black woman on there got angry at the black man for saying something but laughing at him. Well, they got money. Ain't nobody talking about that money. They talking about the way it was built. It's like with many black people, anything goes as long as you got money. Now, if Serena Williams had a black husband built like that, black woman would have that all over social media, laughing at that man. But you won't do it to a white man. You know what one woman said to me? Well, at least he's rich. I said, when she married him, he had 10 million, she had 200 million. You know what she said? Well, at least now he got 210 million. I said, that actually makes sense to you? So now she went from 200 million to 210 million, but he went from 10 million to 210 million. And she think Serena, that was a good deal for Serena. And if they get married, he may end up with 105 million. And she thought that was a good deal for anything just to have a comeback. So they don't even think it through. My brother, stick with who you can, but if they're not gonna do right by you, you gotta move on. We can't keep playing with this. We just can't. Because it's getting worse and worse. Well, ladies, I hope you all keep tuning in also. Look, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. I can't play my theme song because it had some things on there, people with the weapons and some places they wouldn't allow me to play because I'm on other platforms too. I get many more views than I do on this. I'm gonna start being on Instagram because I do pretty well with this. It's just that I don't get as many views on Facebook and YouTube as I used to. But on my other platforms, and I'm gonna have my City of Champions app maybe next month. It'll be my own app. I can say what I want to say, put up any opening I want to put up, and instead of people telling me what to do. And also, next month the WSL, that used to be WSL 984. That's my cable channel. I even got it on my. You see it on my logo. It's a local cable channel. It's mine now. It's been mine about 20 years. I quit broadcasting on it because they people wasn't watching it. People don't watch cable anymore. I'm gonna start streaming what I do here onto there also. But it's not gonna be WSL 984 anymore on Charter Cable. It's gonna be City of Champions 984 and 993. I'm gonna stream on that one too. So hmm, so I thank you for tuning in. Um, so tune in again. We talk about different subjects here. You can even text me, let me know if a subject you want to hear about. If you want to come on, I'll send you the link. You can come on from home on your phone. I can send you a link and you can come on with me. And you know, I like it like that. I like reaching out. So thanks for tuning in. My name is Larry Duncan Allen. This has been No More Water. Bye. Next time. See you next time. Oh, that's IME St. Louis Magazine. Remember to support them. Their local magazine. Take out a subscription with them. I'm going to start doing that.